You're listening to Excellence Above Talent, a podcast where we have the hard conversations about the lives of men and what leads us to achieve greatness and suffer defeat. Hear from other men's journeys as well, as we all learn and grow together to become inspirations to ourselves and those around us. And now your host, Aaron Thomas.
What's up, my beautiful people? Aaron Thomas with Excellence Above Talent. I am here with Miss Yesenia and Kelci, and I'll let them introduce themselves. Who wants to go first?
Me?
Kelci.
Oh, man. That's always the hardest thing. Even in interviews, we're always like, introduce yourself. And then
I'm Kelci.
I want to do that cheer, where you go in the middle. Introduce yourself. My name is Kelci.
Yeah.
Oh, no. And then I stop because I'm like, anyway, we don't know who we are.
You should know who you are.
Yeah.
You should have like a 10-second, 20-second bio. What if like Elon Musk walked in the room and then he was like, I'm going to give you a job if you...
My name is Yesenia. I'm 30. I live in Odessa, Texas.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, no.
Like, what do you do? Just a little bit.
Okay, my name is Yesenia. I am 30 years old. I already said that, Elon Musk. So I'm here today because I was invited. Not by choice.
Seriously? That 100% by choice?
No, I'm just kidding.
This
I'm
is
like,
2022.
no, I am an LVN. I'm a nurse. That's what I do for a living. I work here in Odessa. I've lived here about 4 years. I moved up here. I have 2 kids, and I'm a cool mom. If anybody asks, if anybody cares. And I'm just here. The reason I know you guys is because I recently started CrossFit at CrossFit 432. So that's that.
What's up?
Here you go. It's all yours.
Wonderful. My name is Kelci. Like he said, I will be turning 30 this year. Holla. I'm pretty excited about it. Ever since I was younger, I've always wanted to be older. So I always wanted to be 24 for the longest. And then I was like, I want to be 30. I want to be 30. And now it's coming up and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm about to be 30.
And then you're going to be 50.
Hell yeah, in the blink of an eye.
Yeah, and it's like, what the hell? I want to be 30 again.
No, I like it. I like the wisdom that comes with turning your age and stuff. But gonna be 30 this year. I'm kind of cool. I like to talk a lot, so obviously that's why I'm on this. CrossFit trainer, coach at Midland Christian, so I deal with all the kids and stuff. I was gonna say baby kids, but they're really not baby kids. They're great. And
perspective.
Let's see. Assistant manager at Dos Amigos. That was just supposed to be for fun, and
now you're the boss.
Yep, ended up turning into that. And people are always like, why don't you just be the manager? And I'm like, oh no, I'll be the mean manager. Like people won't
coming to work.
Yeah, like I said, I like to talk. I like all the fun stuff, traveling, just people person. I like being around people, but I also like my alone time. So if I can get, even if it's just like a 5-minute, 6-minute little drive, no music, no nothing, I leave my phone to the side and I'm like, oh, I'm so tired of talking to people. But
in your head.
Take advantage of that time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no kids. So no kids.
No kids.
Thankfully, my boyfriend doesn't talk a lot either. So when he plays his game or he watches TV, I'm there doing what I want to do, and I don't. I'm just like, you want to play for 5 hours? And you know what? You
play for 5 hours. Yeah. There's no kids saying, Mom.
Yeah,
There's just nothing wrong with it. But, yeah. All right, cool. Thank y'all for the introductions. Again, this podcast is here just to provide insight, just to have conversations. My main goal is help build high-value men in all aspects of life. And so the first question I always ask most people, the suicide rate is 3. men are 3.5 times more likely to commit suicide than women. It's not that women aren't committing suicide. It's just that, if you put a gun to your head and pull the trigger, like that's it. What are y'all's assessment on why do you think that is so high?
I would like to think that the reason that is because of our generation. We are millennials. So we're still being raised by a lot of I don't know I don't think it was Gen X, but like the boomers, that generation, where there was a lot of focus on the men. There was a lot of pressure on men. And even up until that time, and now I'm speaking in regards to being ethnic, being Mexican. Growing up, of course, we were taught that the man is the leader, the man is the one who provides for the household. So that does leave a lot of room for stress. Growing up, my dad was the breadwinner. My dad was the one who worked the long hours. So looking back, I can actually say, like, I never saw my dad, him and my mom have conversations regarding mental health. There wasn't any conversations like, de-stressing or anything like that. So that, I feel like that has a lot to do with the suicidal rates in men. Men are, in my opinion, weren't raised to fully express themselves, keep a lot of things bottled in. And, that's very detrimental to somebody's mental health.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. Piggybacking off of that, same thing. Not so much like the ethnicity stuff or anything, but just in general, men are taught you're a man. You put on this shield, you put on this face, and whatever's going on, you're going to be okay because you have, young ones, of course, it's different. They don't have families and stuff like that, but it's still like kids, taking it from my kids at school. If their feelings are hurt or they feel a certain type of way, you're considered a pussy.
Yeah.
You're not. There's just so many.
You're
names
not
that
a man,
come,
essentially.
There's so many names that come with it. As far as adults, grown men that have families or even just married in a relationship, whatever. It's the whole. To me, I think of it. If I were a man, I'd go to bed every night thinking, shit, what else do I have to do for my person? What else do I have to do for my family? I could be in this god-awful job that I hate, but, because I make the money, I still have to get up and put on a face and do it every single day and then come home and, not that all women nag, but, women nag, come home and listen to her say stuff about this.
Okay, so I want to stop you there. This is something that I've had to grow into understanding. And I also taught, a batterers class for guys who have been abusive. Women do not nag. Women have a conversation. True. And because dudes don't want to hear what the hell they have to say, they become the nag, or she's a bitch, or all other bull crap. But it's not nagging. He just has to stop what he's doing to hear what she's saying.
Listen.
100%. To listen. But also, she's holding him accountable for the things that he needs to do at the house, and he doesn't want to hear it because he assumes because he's going to work and making the money, he doesn't have to put up with that crap at the house, when the housework is different from work. There's two different things. Guys shouldn't mix them. A lot of guys do mix it. But when you go to work and you come home, that's another job within itself that you have to take care of too. So I don't think women nag. I just think guys are not. I was going to say man enough to like take them having that conversation with them.
But like you said, just to listen.
Yeah.
That's funny because I had told Miguel something the other day. We were at the house and whatever, and he was like, he's like, you didn't tell me that. And I was like, yes, I did. I was like, and then I had also told you this. And he's like, no, you didn't. I said, there's a difference between you listening and you hearing. Yeah. I said, I'm not saying I'm not bitching at you. I said, but sometimes you do, you just hear me and that's it, but you're not listening and saying oh, okay, you're not responding. I said, or you are, but you're already thinking of something else or what you want to say to what I said previously.
Yeah.
So you're not paying attention to what's coming out of my mouth.
What's
and then
been
that's
said.
how, everything happens from there.
Assumptions and all that.
Yeah.
Downhill from there.
Yep. No, yeah, but to the whole suicidal thing, like it's just they have to be the man. Like they have to, all of it. And that's like I just told y'all a minute ago, the whole us getting the house and closing and whatever. And I can only imagine what's going through his head because this is what's going through my head. But at the same time, I'm like you just have to tell me, express yourself. Let me know that you feel this way or, like you said earlier, that you had a bad day or a bad moment, just little things like that because you take that with you, you dwell on it, and it just keeps getting worse and worse and worse. And yeah.
And we're not even talking about like the trauma that these men have experienced and then not talking about it and then now just adding more pressure and more pressure and more pressure and more pressure. It does. It gets to the point where it's just like I can't, like I don't know who to talk to. Mm-hmm. And if I do talk to someone, are they going to view me as like weak?
Being judged.
Yeah.
No woman likes to be judged, obviously, but when it's a man, no man likes to be judged either. That's walking into the grocery store, to the bathroom as other men, to the gym at that, all of it.
Yeah. And I think a lot of men, like I said before, they suppress their emotions because that's what they think they're supposed to do.
Yeah.
And they're not able to express themselves from a little age, grow, as men. I'm assuming, of course, I'm not a man. I don't know. But I'm assuming because I raised my boys. Yeah. So, and it is difficult. Like there's certain things like they're just boys too. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
And, it's kind of sad because, just recently there was an article that's like, or it was like a meme. It said, buy your boys that dish thing.
Yes.
You know what I'm talking about? Yes. It's like buy your boys that dish thing or whatever. It's like about like kids playing with
the kitchen set.
Yeah, the kitchen set.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And it's like, let them just be themselves. And I'm like, a lot of the times, like, growing up, like, if boys were playing with things like that, they were like, hey, don't be doing that. You know what I mean? Yeah. And it's like, why not? Like, just let people be themselves. And, I feel like that has caused a lot of spark in the suicide, with men committing suicide because, they weren't able to fully express themselves. A lot of men do commit suicide because of sexual orientation. Yeah. That's facts. I know a lot of people don't want to hear that. Yeah. But that's true.
Yeah. They're afraid to come out and be who they are. And there's like a push now where people are upset because they're making the assumption that it's being pushed on them through society and things of that nature. But I remember in high school and junior high, there was like, this stuff's been going on for a minute. Like, I don't think it's been pushed on people. I just think people are just now like, they're really more aware of it now because now they have kids and they say that they want to protect their kids from seeing stuff like that. But at the end of the day, if your kids go to public school or any school, your kids are going to see all of that. You know what I mean? And so yeah, no, I do believe that is, a big issue too. And going back to your, rejection in guys, it's crazy because in 2022, my goal is to cultivate more relationships. Like, I just don't, like, I'm a guy who knows a lot of people, but like, I don't know a lot of people.
Right.
And so I don't have like those relationships. And it's crazy, but I would feel more rejected if I tried to cultivate a relationship with a guy and he was like, yeah, no, I don't want to be your friend versus a woman. Is that not, it's crazy, but I would feel like way more some type of way over the guy saying like, I don't want to be your friend versus a woman. Mm-hmm. It's just super weird. I just came to that realization not too long ago. It was just like how bad it would suck. And so that's why I feel like a lot of guys don't, the suicide rate is high because a lot of guys don't have those relationships with people. don't know how to cultivate those relationships, and I think it's because they're, afraid of rejection, because that also sucks as well. So, yeah. All right, cool. Well, not cool, but like moving on. What is this podcast again? I want to help build high value men. So, from the perspective that you have of a high value man, what would that be? Or what perspective would you have if there's a man and you're trying to build him and it's a high value man? What would you give this man to make him a high value man?
What would I give him?
Mm-hmm. Or like, how would you build him to make him a high value man?
So I think a high value man is a man that just has the key components, which is respect. He makes you feel secure. He makes you feel safe. He's emotionally intelligent. He's in touch with his masculine and his feminine. But he has his mental health in check, his physical health in check, his emotional health in check. That is a high valued man. A man that can walk into a room and be assertive without having to, be like, I'm here.
Yeah, aggressive and shit.
Yeah, being aggressive or demand respect. Yeah. A man that, is financially secure, is educated, and being educated in different areas. To me, that's a high value man.
Let me ask you a question. When you say financially secure, what does that look like?
For me, somebody that has a stable income, a stable job,
So McDonald's?
A stable income, a stable job with the 401k.
I mean, McDonald's have 401k. Let's
wait, okay, let me go back.
Let's be
okay,
real.
You want to be real?
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
We gotta be within our tax brackets.
I got you. So you can't have you won't date a guy who's like who makes less money than you.
Yes, me personally, like this is what I do for a living.
Yeah.
This is where I'm at, and I would like for you to meet me there or be more.
Yeah.
That's where it is. I mean, if I have these things, then you should be able to have them as well.
Is that ego, or is that just like?
No, that's
because the reason why I asked that, because there's this thing going around where guys are also doing it too. Mm-hmm. What does she bring to the table? What does she bring to the table? And I'm like, why are we asking that question? You know what I mean? Like, if you are secure and you know who you are and like yourself, mm-hmm. why she shouldn't have to bring anything to the table but herself, mm-hmm. and that should be enough. But if she's not bringing this and this to the table, then I can't mess with her. Yeah. But and I was talking to somebody about it, and he was like, "It sounds like ego," and I was like, "Damn." I mean, I was like, "You're right." Like, if I'm me as a man walking up and I'm saying, like, you got to bring, like, granted, you got to have your standards and, your requirements and, the things that you like and dislike or whatever. Mm-hmm. But if she brought all of that to the table, but didn't bring, like, one or two certain different things, would I be like, yeah, she can't sit at my table?
But you didn't let me finish.
My bad. Because to me, it sounds like it could be ego. Not from your perspective, but from my perspective. So I'm slowly changing my perspective of what can she bring to the table, because to me, I feel like we as human beings can unlock each other.
Yeah.
So I might not be able, I might not be where I should be, mm-hmm. but if we connect, we vibe and I see you on your shit and you're mm-hmm. doing your thing, it could unlock something in me to make me strive to want to do better and be better.
Correct. And that's a part of being a high-valued man. Somebody that can motivate you, encourage you, inspire you. And this is just not in partner relationships. This is in, friendships as well.
For sure.
Going back on what I was saying.
Before you.
Because I pondered on this many times.
Okay.
And I, discussions with self and discussions with other people. Whenever somebody asks you a question like that and you start naming the things that you want from mm-hmm. from your partner or from another futuristic partner, mm-hmm. you have to make sure that you are already those things.
Got you.
Because I can't be out here asking for Elon Musk and then where am I?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you have to make sure that when you're answering those questions yourself, you have to make sure that you either are working towards the same or already are.
So what if you find, there's one guy who's a diamond in the rough who doesn't have like all of his shit together, but he has, everything else that you're looking for. And then you have this guy who has all of his shit together, but he's just, mentally he's not there. Like who would, if you had to choose someone, who would you choose?
Myself.
Yeah, okay, no, after choosing yourself, if you had to choose, one man, because one man, if he's unlocked, he's gonna do great things in the world, and the other one,
the diamond in the rough.
Yeah, it's just stuck, and I do believe like there are people that they're just kind of lost in their ways, and they need other people to kind of because I don't believe in creating people, but like just pushing them to like, hey, this is, I was pushed in my last relationship, coming into it, to where I, got my bachelor's degree and I, started a business and like I wanted to do, things, because I saw her and I saw like the motivation that she had, and so it just kind of inspired me to do better. But I was that guy with the fucked up mentality, and I wasn't the diamond in the rough. So yeah, I'm kind of shitting on myself.
Well, it just depends. Like I think that people, with their actions, they show you.
Okay.
You can say like, oh, the diamond in the rough, this guy that works at McDonald's. That's why you don't rush into things with people.
Got you.
You take time to get to know people. You talk to people. You have conversations, real conversations. Not what are you doing?
Yeah.
You have
come over here, Netflix and chill.
Yeah, you have an intelligent conversations, and you ask somebody like, what is it that you want to do? Yeah, I know right now you're working at McDonald's, but what do you want to do? Like,
Gotcha.
Where do you see yourself?
Got you.
What is it that you're working towards?
I got you.
Because I've had conversations with men that are very intelligent and they have their degrees or they're more successful, but they are meatheads.
Or they think they're better.
Yeah.
Because of it. They think they're better because of their degrees or because of their money.
And this is women as well.
Or because of their status. And so, yeah. Women too, but I just think that's what the issue is. And there's a lot of it that goes back and forth. So.
But you know right off the bat, you're having a conversation with somebody and it's just not hitting the way it's supposed to be hitting. Then you're like, you know what? It's okay. We're just not. Yeah. We're not there. We're not meeting each other. So there's somebody else that you can probably carry this conversation on with, and that's just not me.
Yeah.
Y'all basically hit all the nails.
Come on, talker.
I know, right?
You can't start the podcast. So I like to talk, and then now you ain't saying nothing.
I'm thinking of what I was gonna like slide in, and then that's why if you go back, you're gonna hear me. Yeah.
My personal hype man.
Hell yeah. No, saying. I mean, everything that the both of you said was pretty spot on. To go off of that, my main thing is, I don't really have you must have this and you must have this and you must be doing all this and whatever. Like I've never laid out how I guess I would want my man to be. Mm-hmm. Especially because this relationship that I'm in now is like the complete opposite of anything I ever
would have written down and said, this is what I'm looking for.
Yeah, totally different. I mean, for one, he doesn't work out, and y'all know me, and I fucking love it. I love that he doesn't work out. Like I can send him stuff, and he's just like, "Good job, babe," or "That's my baby," and I'm like, "Hell yeah, it is."
Yeah.
No, but he hypes me up and stuff, and he has no idea what I'm doing. No idea what movement it is, whatever. It could be 45 pounds on the bar. It's not, but he would still be like, "Oh my gosh,"
you're so strong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But just I don't know, that communication, that's my biggest thing. I don't care what you have. You could drive a freaking bicycle you could ride a freaking bicycle, but if you communicate well with me and you let me know this and that, my thing is just you don't have to tell me everything, but I just want to be in the loop. Just keep me in the loop with certain things.
Yeah.
And I'm okay, but at the end of it, it's just always like we can get through it. We can do this together.
Yeah.
One of the things that Miguel had told me, at midnight or whatever, this is our year. We're gonna make this ours. We're gonna be good. We're gonna be better than we were. Blah blah. Like kept on about we, and it was like, oh my gosh, like we are, like we're like hell yeah, like we got this. Like we can. We may not have everything in the world, stuff like that, the nicest things or whatever, but we can get to where we want to be and to have those nice things and to still have everyone else around us.
I just think like the social media, age is tainting what a real relationship should look like.
Oh, 100%.
Live paycheck to paycheck.
Mm-hmm.
So the shit that you see is on credit.
Yeah. So
there's not a lot of people who have, all this nice stuff that they have without being eyeballs in debt. Mm-hmm. But no one's really talking about that. It's like, oh my gosh, these trips and, the cars and all this stuff that you see, that's nice. And that's what you're looking for. That's what you're aiming for. And it's like, for what? So you want to be in debt? You want to like live paycheck to paycheck? You want to barely like survive? Like if something bad happens to you, you do have $1,000 in your account as like a savings fund, or are you screwed? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And I think, a lot of society, what you see on social media is just not what it is.
Oh yeah.
Because we went to Cancun in July. We went to Cancun for like a whole week. And then a week later, we're getting divorced. And so people are like, well, I thought y'all were in Cancun. Well, yeah, we were in Cancun. But like, that was it. You know what I mean? Like, we were hanging out in Cancun, but we wasn't really hanging out with each other. It wasn't a fun experience. Yeah. But what you saw on social media was like, oh my gosh, they're zip lining and they're parasailing and they're doing all this stuff.
The fun stuff.
But it wasn't fun. But we put on that the picture of like, oh my gosh, like, power couple. This is an amazing couple type deal. And, I think people get caught up into that where they just start to assume like, oh my gosh, I want to be, like this couple or that couple. And it's like, you don't really know what the hell is really going on. And, and they could be eyeballs in debt and, trying to figure it out or hate each other. And and you're like, oh my gosh, I want to be like that couple. Yep. So.
Yeah, but it's also important just to always remember, and this goes like for all, like everybody, including myself, right? I always say the same thing. It's like, I only post what I want you to see.
For sure.
And you always have to remember that. Like, I know there's sometimes you'll be scrolling and you'll see something or you'll be like, but you just got to remember everybody on social media only posts what they want you to see.
Facts. That's good. Yep. It is.
I must stay posting my memes, but good luck figuring it out.
No, I like that. Everyone, say it again.
Everybody on social media only posts what they want you to see.
Got you. Mm-hmm. So it's all a perspective of what that person essentially wants you to see.
It's all a part of their game.
And so it's the story that they want to tell of like, hey, this is what I'm doing. Yeah.
You ever been on Gucci's Instagram?
I haven't.
Louis Vuitton? Or like these brands, like they're posting their bags because they want you to see it. They want you to buy it. They're not posting those defective bags. Yeah.
I got you. That makes sense.
And you to look for something isn't perfect.
Oh, okay. So if y'all had, what a draft is, like an NBA draft or NFL draft, like you have like the number one pick in a draft, and it's the number one quality you would look for in a man. The number one. Like if you're drafting a man, what would your number one quality be? She ready.
Reliability.
Okay, being reliable.
Communication.
So tell me more, like, in being reliable, what does that look like as a man?
For me, or
for you.
A reliable person is a person that is, you can count on them. I have kids.
Yeah.
So, if I bring you into my life, it's, being responsible. If I ask or like, hey, I'm going to be out of work late, you should be ready and willing to be like, okay, well, don't worry about it. Like, I see you're getting out late. Like, I'm going to go get the kids.
Yeah.
Or, things like that makes me feel secure and safe where I can trust you.
Got you. I got you.
Yeah, mine's communication still.
What's like your biggest thing about communication? As far as like, in communicating, what is like the number one thing you're looking for?
If something's wrong, tell me. And it goes back to your mental state, mental health, men's mental health. That's my main thing. Like, just, I don't know, just communicate with me. Like, you don't have to tell me everything that happened during your day, but I mean, if something triggered you to where you felt this way, then like a part of me kind of feels like, yeah, you can tell me. Not that I need to know, but like I said, there were times where I would hold things in and not tell anyone, not even my best friend.
Mm-hmm.
And I know what that did to me. So imagine a man, men don't openly express.
So there's a, and this is fact, we're not arguing this at all whatsoever, just in case somebody wanted to argue. Communication is 7% verbal, 38% tone, 55% body language.
Oh, yeah.
So essentially, when communicating, it has nothing, it's very little about verbal, like speaking, but it's all about like the tone or the tone and then the body language. And so in communicating, that's, to me, something that I've learned over time is you can tell me whatever you want to tell me. I'm not listening to what you're telling me. I'm listening to like your tone of it and then also your body language because that's telling me what you really want or don't want to do type deal. So, no, I think that's super important. So being reliable and communication. All right, so let me put y'all on the hot seat. Like I haven't put y'all on the hot seat before. Do you think guys are accountable for their actions? I can answer the question first. I think hell no.
I was gonna say I don't think so.
This is just my personal opinion, and also give me a percentage, and so I would say no, but I would I'd be 30% accountable, 70% not accountable. What do you think?
Are men accountable? Okay, I think that men are accountable about 60% with their partner, and about 40% with their homies.
Okay,
like
sounds about right.
So
I feel like men are more loyal
to their partners than.
Well,
no, I feel like they're more loyal to their friends.
So then the opposite way.
Okay, yeah. So
sorry.
So they're accountable more to their friends than to their partner.
Yes, let me take that back. So I feel like men are more accountable. They're 60% accountable to their homies and 40% more accountable to their partner.
Why do you think that is?
I think because whenever, this is just, human, right? When you're comfortable and able to express yourself, you're able to be more truthful and you're able to be more accountable. Like, hey, bro, like, I saw you do this last time. Oh, yeah, you're right. I did. But then whenever I tell you, like, hey, you did that last time.
You're nagging.
Yeah. Your homie's not nagging. Go kiss him then.
Okay. I can totally dig that. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, what did you say, 60-40?
Yeah.
And I said 30-70. 30 accountable, 70 not accountable.
It also just goes back to like who the person is.
Yeah.
Who the man is. Like to be able to say that. For the most part, I don't think so. But
I think it just depends what circumstance, right?
Yeah.
Because I think we're all, self-accountability is really hard to do already.
Yeah,
right?
it is.
So I think that's a very broad,
like holding yourself accountable is hard because sometimes you don't want to hold yourself accountable.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And the only reason why I'm saying this is because, I taught a class for guys who are abusive, and 98% would walk in and say it wasn't my fault. I'm like, bro, like you punched her.
Yeah.
Like, how was it not your fault? You know what I mean? And so it was just, and then I also taught a class for women, and they were just like, yeah, I beat his ass, like just straight up. Like women, like it didn't take long for women to be like, yes, that's what I did.
Yeah.
But in a 24-week class, week 16 is when guys were like, okay, yes, I'm accountable for my actions. And it's not necessarily like you're not accountable for her and you know what she did, but you're accountable for your actions and what you do.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of guys don't want to like hear it or be accountable for like the shit that they've caused
In the moment, whenever it's being spoken on.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's just like, okay, I hear you, whatever. Like, you know, they say what they need to say, you say what you need to say, and then that's it. And then, you know, because speaking from experience, and it's like, you know, maybe a week or two goes by, then it's like, hey, I know I was acting this way, you know, and blah, 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 but I don't want you to think this, and that. And it's like, why can't you just tell me that whenever, you know, quote unquote, I was nagging or, you know,
that's
I was.
the ego, girl.
Yeah. So,
and sometimes the ego won't even let you say it.
Yeah.
I mean, there have been times where like, I realized like halfway in the argument, like, oh shit, like, yeah, she right. But she ain't gonna know about it. And so we,
I apologize to her in my head. She don't hear it, that's on her.
Babe, fingers crossed behind your back.
100%. Like, oh yeah, that's on me. I 100%. She's right. But yeah, we're gonna keep going down this hill because like I don't want to be wrong. Which is it's just a level of immaturity and it's just dumb. You know, it's just a waste of energy and time. So yeah, I just think it's something that.
But I also think it goes back to childhood.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot, like, and this is because I have two brothers.
Uh-huh.
So I remember, you know, also seeing this. You know, like, whenever you get in trouble, like, your mom gets mad at you, it's like a little, like, little giggly, let's see if I can get away with it.
Gotcha.
So I think that, like.
So, man, we try to.
Trying to see if you could get away with it.
Yeah. I mean, I couldn't tell you no, because I think that's a lot of, I tried to get away with a lot of shit just to see, you know, and I didn't.
That's so scary.
Yeah.
Like, well, I mean, I know some women probably think that too, but just to hear that, you know, to like know like that goes through your head.
Oh yeah.
Not only you.
I'm testing every boundary to see like how far I can go before she says like stop doing that shit.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna keep doing it until you say stop doing that shit.
Hey, at me, texting Miguel. What are you trying?
But yeah, I mean, it's, you know, that again, I think that's, you know, going back and looking at, you know, how and why my relationship failed. There was a lack of accountability, even though I was teaching accountability. So it was easier for me to tell you what you shouldn't do. But then going home and like just being an asshole. Mm-hmm. So it was just like, there wasn't a lot of accountability on my part. And if it was, it's like, I would throw it out there. Like, I know what I'm doing, but I wasn't changing.
Mm-hmm. But let me tell you something. I think that it also has to do with, do you really like that person?
Got you.
Because when you like somebody, you really care for them and you value their opinion. You take accountability.
Got you.
You say, hey, like, I did fuck this up, or my mistake. Like, you know, you're willing to do that because you put, like you said, the ego to the side. Yeah. Now, I think that when you don't like somebody, that's whenever you're like, you do try to test the waters.
Test the waters and see. Yeah. I never thought about it that way.
Me either.
Yeah. So
if they treating you like shit, they don't like you.
Well, I mean, they're treating you like shit, so they assume that you ain't shit, you know? All right, so communication reliability as your number one pick for a man. So I put something on Facebook a couple of weeks ago. Are you trying to uncover who you are, or are you trying to create who you are?
I think in order for you to know who you are, you have to uncover who you are.
Yeah.
I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
Either.
Ooh, I hit you with them.
All the guys on here like create, because I think that's just what we do. Like, guys create. Like,
no, because for me, for the last I'm gonna say like 3-ish years, it was more so uncovering and making mistakes to be able to create who I am now, and still trying to get there. Does that make sense?
It does. Yeah, I'm thinking you can't create unless you uncover.
Right.
Yeah, because if you don't uncover and you create, your foundation is fucked.
Yeah.
It's not a good foundation. So you have to.
How do you know how to create yourself if you don't
know what?
Yeah.
Like you are.
Yeah, you can't be in a good relationship, or you can't be in a better place unless you go back and, you know, you heal whatever you think was where the halt was.
Yeah.
There's many times that I've looked back and I'm like, okay, this is where it stops. This mistake or this keeps going in a circle. I keep making the same decisions. Or
Okay, so why did you stop and say, why did you change from mistake to like you stopped saying like did you say did you mean to say mistake, or did you wanted to change it? Because it felt like you said mistake, but then you was like, no, it wasn't a mistake. Or am I like reading too much into it?
Let's go back.
Okay.
I just think that there's been many, me personally, there's been many points in my life where I'm like, okay, this keeps repeating itself.
Yeah.
This situation keeps repeating itself. I'm a part of this equation.
Yeah.
Okay, how can I change this?
Got you.
What am I doing wrong?
Yeah.
That keeps putting me in the same position. Now let's try option B. Let's go this way.
Yeah. And the reason why I said that is because I think there's a big difference between mistake and choices.
Oh yeah.
And I think people run around here and say, it was a mistake, and it's like, no, dude, like you just made a bad choice.
You chose to do that.
I mean, yeah, it's a 100% choice. Dudes would come in there and say all the time, I mistakenly had sex with that other girl. I'm like, bro, how the fuck do you have a mistake? Like, do you just like trip and your clothes come off and you just fall into it? Like, how do you mistakenly fall into something?
No,
you know what I mean?
You chose to engage in that conversation.
100%.
And you chose to lead that person on, and then you chose to hang out with that person.
Yeah.
You chose to go back to the house, whoever it is, and then you chose to do X, Y, and Z.
Yeah. So it's not a mistake.
No.
So I think a lot of people, they get it, because it's easier to not be accountable if I say it's a mistake versus, no, I made a dumbass decision.
Because then
it was a bad choice.
Because to other people, it's like, oh, people make mistakes. Mm-hmm. So that's why it's easy to say, hey, I made this mistake, Yeah. And then it's like, okay, well, if you're sorry, then, it's easy for that to go that route.
Yeah.
Instead of,
Ooh, that's a good one.
Like, baby, I made a mistake, but you're still, having sex with that chick that you mistakenly had sex with already 50 times now, and it's still a mistake.
Yeah.
And at some point, you know what I mean? Like, it's not a mistake. It's 100% a choice. So, no, okay, I get that. Cool. I came into it thinking like you have to create yourself. You have to constantly create yourself, but you've already been built over time, and you're here as a person that you are now. And so uncovering things would help in the process of creating. See, this is why I like these conversations, because it's just, you get clarity, or you get a different perspective that kind of opens up your eyes to different things. Because you just, sometimes you just don't see it. You see it one way, and that's the only way until someone says, well, what about this one? It's
you see it black and white.
Yeah.
And then you get this down pop of color, and you're like, oh!
You get that pink. I don't know why I thought of pink, but when I say the color pink, what's the first thing that comes to your mind?
Girly.
Vibrance.
Oh, okay.
What?
Somebody asked me that question.
What do you think of? What is it?
Straight up, just the very first thing. The P. And I was having lunch with somebody, and she was like, dude, like, and the second thing was petunia. Like, I don't know. Like, that was just, those are the two things that popped up whenever someone says, like, what do you think of when you think of the word P? That was
great.
it. Yeah, somebody help me. All right, did you find it?
No, but it was something like it had to do with like having peace within yourself, and I guess like whatever you've been through and stuff. But anyway, I don't remember like what exactly it said word for word, but the person that had like commented to me about it, he was like, oh, so you were never happy back then whenever like you were posting, like you'd be here and there, whatever. And it was like, no, I was happy, but I didn't have any peace within me with what was going on. Like I can be happy. I can put on, a smile, and I can forget about, my troubles and stuff like that. I can genuinely be happy. But that doesn't mean that I have peace within me.
Yeah.
And then so, like once that, certain things stopped and happened and, whatever, then it was like, oh, like, 'cause we had this conversation at the gym, didn't we? And I told you, like, there was like a sense of peace, and it made me, it's a different feel, and it's a different happiness, and how you go about your days and how you see things, your views and blah 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 from there. I wish I could find it, but I literally cannot.
So that kind of brings me to like, so can you like be happy and feel peace, but still not like where you're at in your life?
Yeah.
Like, is there a word for that? Because it's not contentment. Because contentment is kind of like you're sitting in like the happiness and the peace, and there's no give or take. It's just there. But like, what is a word that like there's peace and there's like happiness, but there's also like this like heaviness that I have to go and get it. You know what I mean? Like I have to. There's something more out there that I have to go and get. Like what word is that? Is there a word for that feeling? Because I feel like a lot of guys feel that way. Where there's a level of like peace and there's a level of happiness, but then there's also like a level of like there's something in their spirit that says they have to, go out and get more. But it might just be, what society think or what I think society thinks I should do, or should I sit in that like contentment and happiness and not push for more.
I think it's just movement.
But I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I got you. So have you had that feeling before, or do you sometimes feel that way?
Have I had that feeling before?
Yeah.
Yes.
Ascension.
So what was it that helped you get out of it, or are you still kind of in it? I don't know either. I don't know if I reach the pinnacle of what I want to reach, like will that feeling go away, or will it
probably not?
Constantly...
Because I feel like even if we don't have like, let's say like goals or things that we want to meet, there's still always something more that we want without even realizing it,
Yeah.
And so I guess in a sense it's like a constant chase.
Yeah.
But not as aggressive as if you were to write down, this goal, and it's like, shit, I haven't met this one, but I still have to reach this one, and then I haven't met this one, and you keep going back and forth with yourself.
Yeah.
I think for women it's different.
Okay.
Like you can be in that, that space that you've created, but for me it's like, I kind of feel like, trying this and doing this slowly.
Yeah.
And I think like men are more like, you know what, I'm kind of bored.
Yeah. Just do it. I'm just gonna do it.
Yeah, I'm just gonna do it. And they just don't think.
That's true. That's so true.
So it's different.
Like women ease their way into
like,
things.
you know what, I kind of feel like trying this, and I'm gonna start doing this. And,
so a perfect example, which to me for women, they're nail colors.
Yeah.
So I'm more nude, simple, nothing like that. A while back I had gotten on my toes. So a while back I had gotten like a burgundy color. They're white right now, which I hardly ever get white, but they match my nails anyway. So
I'm not
I had
sure
got
why I look down.
like
Just,
a
like the
just
toes
my
was out. Yeah.
she's all. She's
Like,
them
them are the ones. Hey, them claws. Yeah, I know.
I have a nice feet.
Like the Velociraptor, like tapping on the dance. I'm just kidding. Hopefully you're not self-conscious about your feet, and if you are, I apologize.
No, because I know
you
I
have beautiful.
feet.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool. Okay.
She said follow her on her OnlyFans for feet pics.
For feet pics.
Hey, I've been tempted. Okay.
Yeah, you can probably make a lot of money off of that.
Yeah, I've heard the stories from like other people, and I'm like, God, what am I doing?
That's so crazy.
I'm just calling you. It's like, like subscribe, and then like when you get on, it's just like me talking about my feelings.
So you're scary, dude.
It's like me talking about like my day.
She's so scary, man. She's like conning motherfuckers like all that time.
Every single time.
I'm gonna get you. You know what I mean? Like, wait, why though?
What did she say at the beginning?
First of all, what? No, it's your fault. You went over there. She's like, oh, she's going to show her my feet.
Well, yeah. I mean, if I paid money to see your feet, and you're talking about like your feelings,
it's my content.
No.
If I want to change it and I want to talk about my day,
That's not how that is.
that is.
That's not how that works.
Joke's on you. Why are you doing this? Nobody had you out here.
Or you did. You did. You had me out there. You had to like give me a
What's not my
sample.
fault? You're so easy.
You had to give me like a. Well, most guys are easy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Look at you. Now you're here listening to my feelings. Say yourself.
Welcome.
Delete. Now most guys probably stay and listen. Let me see if I can't find a chink in her armor and shoot my shot with her. Alright, so feet pick.
Oh yeah, no, not feet pick.
Oh my bad. Feet.
So going back to the feet.
Yeah.
You know, same thing with my toes. I always get like a really light pink, nude, the French tip, whatever. Sometimes white. Anyway, I got this dark burgundy color.
Yeah.
And, because it was my thing, I slowly want to just start adding color to my nails and my toes, But I didn't know. I was like, let's just start here. So I, went with this burgundy red, and I was like, what in the hell is on my toes? And I, immediately, I was like, nope, I'm not going to do this again. Because I just didn't, but it took me months, weeks, months, whatever, to slowly build up. And that's just my nails and my toes.
That's just your nail.
Yeah. So
you want to hear the story about how I jumped out of a plane?
No. Seen the video, but I haven't heard the story.
So the story was I wanted to jump out of a plane in 2021. Mm-hmm. It was like October, and I knew 2021 was coming to an end. So I jumped on the computer. The very first.
Maybe you did say it.
The very first skydiving company that I saw on my computer in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, mm-hmm. I booked it. Just within seconds. I was doing something and I went to the computer and I just booked it. And then I just realized, okay, it's in Madisonville, Texas, mm-hmm. 2 hours from Austin. So, I'm trying to go to Dallas. There was one in Dallas, there was one in Austin. Mm-hmm. I picked the one in Madisonville, 2 hours away. So I go there, and the rest was history. But y'all, you're right. I was just it wasn't like a slow build up. It was boom. I'm not jumping out of a plane to I'm jumping out of a plane, which was that weekend. It wasn't I didn't set it it was just that weekend. I drove to Madisonville and I jumped out of a freaking plane. Yeah. And I'm alive. But yeah, months for your toes. I mean,
imagine
would you jump out of a train? I mean, out of a plane?
Yes, but it would have to be planned. That way,
I was talking about this morning. I even told Cindy, and I think I told Lupita, I was like, let's go skydiving, and they're like, no, and I'm like, oh, okay.
So this is what I want to do. So there's a Spartan race. There's one in San Antonio.
Man, you've already tried this.
I'm gonna keep doing it until we. Kelci, don't even say it because you said you were going to go and you did not. So, one, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to Yesenia. All right. So, there's a Spartan race. There's one in San Antonio and one in Dallas. And I'm trying to get, a lot of people from CrossFit 432. This is the second week I'm putting you on CrossFit 432. So, I'm waiting on a sponsorship from Justin Grenada or something. Half off, something, brother. So go to CrossFit 432 if you're trying to get, fit and ready for the summer. So yeah, I'm trying to get everyone from CrossFit 432 to go there, and then we all go skydiving. Or the people who want to go skydiving. The one who want to watch can just watch.
That'd be cool as shit.
Yeah, but it's just, it's just so, it's life changing. Mm-hmm. There are days I just want to quit. That you have those days where it's I just want to sleep and just whatever. But again, it's just that there's something inside some people have where it's just I just gotta keep going. I think that really opened up my eyes to man, this is all what life's about. This is about jumping and embracing and going with the flow and just diving, and then you're flying, and then you'll find yourself landing where you need to land.
That's what I did with Dose.
Yeah.
I always wanted just to try bartending.
Yeah.
It just seems cool. Not even for the money, just to try it, to be hey, I can do this.
Yeah.
That's my thing. I want to try something so I can say I can do it. Mm-hmm. And then I did it, and then I moved up, and I moved up, and I moved up, and it was oh shit.
So I'm thinking about bartending. Would that be something do you think that would be something you would recommend?
Yes, 100%. When people are I've always wanted to, and I'm do it. People used to always say, like, the bar life, and blah, blah, blah. And at first it was like, shit, it is just the bar life. But what I've learned and what I've learned about myself and, like, managing stuff and being around more people than what I'm already around and just meeting them and learning and hearing their stories and me being able to share my story, my small testimony to strangers. It's like, damn, this is cool.
Yeah.
Like, this is it. I love it. Like, I'm like, why did it take me so long?
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I would definitely.
Okay. I think someone suggested it and I was like, thinking about it. So.
And I always tell girls that, like, come in and apply, literally, I don't ask them anything. I'm like, are you a people person? And if somebody were to ask me that, I'd be like, oh, yeah, like 100% I am. And and they're a little bit younger, so maybe it just kind of doesn't click or whatever. But, to them, they're like, well, sort of. And I'm like, sort of?
Yeah.
It's yes or no. Like, do you like to be around people? Do you like to, like, if you're having a bad day, can you walk through these doors, and still be able to treat people with, 80, 90, 100% of you?
Yeah.
Nothing less than that.
Yeah.
I had one girl in a meeting one time that was like, y'all expect us to give 100% and stuff, but we've already been here for X amount of hours, and these people are rude and this and that. And I was like, that's an excuse. I'm like, you know what you're getting yourself into.
Mm-hmm.
You've done this before, so don't sit here and say, well, they're rude to me and blah, blah, blah. Well, how are you approaching them? How are you responding back to them? Like you said earlier, it goes back to your tone, your body language, all of it.
Yeah.
So I don't believe certain things like that. But anyway,
Gotcha.
I say you do it.
Yeah. It's going to be fun.
Mm-hmm.
It would be fun if everyone doesn't punk out as I stare at Kelci.
I didn't punk
You
out.
100% punked out.
It wasn't because I was scared, though.
I'm pretty sure you was.
To do the Spartan race?
Yep, because you didn't do it, so...
That doesn't mean I'm sgered.
Punked out.
Maybe I had shit going on.
No, you punked out. Because then Abby was supposed to go, Daniel,
Drew.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm calling all y'all mother truckers out.
Angie's going to be like, it's because we have a little Z, that's why.
All right, cool. So last question, and then I will let y'all go. I know this is I forgot to tell y'all. I'll ask this question before we started talking. But what impact do you want to leave on the world?
Oh, don't make me cry. That literally already makes me emotional.
You're already crying, so just go ahead and let it happen. Just let it.
Look at my eyes.
Yeah, girl. Your forehead vein right here is trying to keep it up. Keep the tears in. It's happening. What impact do you want to leave on this world?
Oof. Let me get this out real quick. You go first.
Oh, she meant the cry.
Yeah, she's crying.
What impact do I want to leave on the world?
Yeah.
At my age or now, I still have many more years, right? But right now in this moment of time, if God wanted, to come in and sweep me off my feet, I think it's very important right now that I feel like my purpose is to, have other women see me and see that, like, things are not perfect. If she can do it, I can do it. Be that person. Don't ever envy anybody. What's yours is already yours. And I always say one thing. It's like, if I don't have it, it's because I don't want it. And I just, in this current moment in time, I want, other people to look at me and say, like, everything's going to be okay. Like, if I just keep moving forward, me and my kids are going to be good.
Yeah.
I'm going to be good.
Yeah.
Put yourself first.
Yeah.
That's it.
Got you.
My impact would be, I don't know, just having a good heart and being a good person.
Yeah.
Like, not just the way I talk to people. Like, I want people to know, like, even with some people now at the gym, I'm not there as much as I used to be or whatever. And I know that they may think, this and that of me and whatnot, and it's fine. I get it. But I want them to know, like, I still care. Like, I still think about them, and, and I've said it before, like, my people are my people. Even if I've met you one time and I see you out, hey, how are you?
What do you do?
Yeah, like, you're my people, and I will go to bat for you any given day. I want people to know, like, you're with me, you're not alone. You know what I mean? I don't know. Like, I've said this before in a post a long time ago. Like, I wish I were Superwoman. I really wish that I could help everyone. Like, just talking to them, just giving them little things, whatever it could be. I really wish that I could.
I think you are. You're not seeing it.
Yeah.
Like, the energy that you put off, you don't necessarily have to talk to someone to make someone feel good about themselves. You just walking by that person. If you're walking in the energy that you're supposed to be walking in, you automatically make that person feel good. And they don't know why they feel good or where it came from, but it was just like there was that one person that I walked by and I felt like, my energy changed because their energy was just so vibrant and so real. I think you have that. So you are low key a superwoman in the flesh, right? So you don't have to worry about Wonder Woman or Superwoman. You already are a superwoman in the flesh.
I'll tell you what, I was like, when I first started CrossFit, it was different. This was something that I really pushed myself into, that I was like, I've never done it before. Of course, I used to work out, but not like this. I remember we had this conversation where I was like, I was pretty timid. I remember I used to like be like, oh my gosh, I don't know how to do this, or I don't know how to do it. And I used to be like, I hope that girl's there at the gym tomorrow. So I can ask her. Because I wasn't about to ask Justin.
Yeah, because she still has a hard time with the with the clean and front squat.
We're past that.
Are we past that?
We're past
She's
that.
all like, oh shit. I'm
Damn.
My bad. I just remember one morning she was having a hard time with it. I was just laughing the whole time.
You still didn't do it right. And I was like, are you sure?
Squat!
Are you sure? Are you sure? You programmed this, but are you sure that I'm doing it wrong? That's so funny. But I did. I used to go in, I used to be like, I hope that girl's there because, she would like, in my head, I'd be like, she's the only one that I could go up to her and be like, hey, am I doing it right?
Yeah. No, and I love to hear that, and it does, like, it brings me such joy, and that's why I love everything that I do. Everyone's always like, why do you work so many jobs? Like, do you need the money? And I'm like, no, it's not about the money. Like, I said, I love my people. I love my kids at school. I love my girls that I work with at doze. Like,
it's a fulfilled life. You're not living a boring ass. You're not on the sidelines, like,
and I
just
like
chilling.
It.
You know what I mean?
I like it. Don't get me wrong. I love meeting older people. I love hearing, what they have to tell me. Like, I take that with me and I go,
Yeah.
But I see myself now doing that to a lot of the younger people, and I say younger, and some of the girls at Dose are like 23, 24. But,
That ain't young.
Huh?
That ain't young.
I mean, it is young, but when I say that, people are like, oh, you say that like you're so old. And I'm like, no, but, like, they're younger.
Yeah,
than,
okay, I got you.
And so, yeah, like, when they come to me and they ask me stuff like, well, what would you do? Or, like, what WWKD, what would Kelci do? And it's just like, I love it because I'm like, man, like, you listen to what I've told you and you really think, I mean, not think, but that I know certain things that you want to ask me what I think of this. And so I love it. Like, that's, if I could go back and redo, I mean, which I still could, I have plenty of time, but I would love to be a counselor. Love to be a counselor and,
So what are you waiting on?
My fucking self.
All the jobs that you're doing.
I know. I mean, it's still a part of it, especially with my kids at school.
You know what? So somebody told me a while back, because, working at the crisis center and doing what I did for like the last 4 years, he was like, you are a counselor. You're not certified. You didn't go to school, but people come to you and you have advice.
Right.
Right? You don't give them, hey, do this or this, but it's like, hey, these are options that you can do in your life, and whatever you choose is on you. So I mean, essentially, you are, not a certified counselor, but you are a counselor.
Yeah.
You're a counselor at the bar when someone's like having a hard day, and you're having that conversation at school. Hell, in the gym, we have these deep ass conversations at the gym.
Dude, I've told people that before. Like, I hate when others are like, oh, you just go and you tell people what to do, and I'm like, excuse you, like, it's way more than that. And I've said this before. Like, yes, I've left the gym once, and the reason I came back was because of the people.
Yeah.
It wasn't because of, oh, you're gonna get paid this, or this is your friend and blah blah blah. No, like it's because of the people and the relationships that I've built. And I've gone through, the births of their babies and seeing their babies go from some of them graduating, past graduation, and, deaths in the family, divorces, marriages, miscarriages, all of it.
Yeah.
And it's like, man, like this is my life, but I love it.
Yeah.
Like I love being able to I want to be a person to someone. To be that person also, not the only person, but just that one of them.
Got you.
Yeah.
Well, you are, just FYI. My bad. You have time for one more question?
Yeah.
Okay, so I totally forgot this question. But I also think that this is an issue that we as men are dealing with, and it's creating animosity, and it's creating a lot of division in the household. So, do you feel like men should rule their household by fear, or rule their household by respect, and why? Because I'm just, from my perspective, ruling a household by fear, you coming home and everyone's like running around and they feel like they have to act a certain type of way because daddy's home, and if, things don't happen the way daddy wants them to, he's going to explode. Versus, coming home and everyone runs up to you and they're excited to see that you're home, and they want to be around you and with you. Do you think, kind of in society right now, what percentage would you give? Most households are ruled by fear, and most households, and what percentage of households are ruled by respect?
I'm going to say a high percentage, 60 to 70 on fear. Like I would, it goes back to just depending on the family or whatever. But I think, honestly, reality, it's more so fear. Like, oh, your dad's coming home. Like, that better be picked up, or don't say that around your dad, or don't do this, blah, 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 or, things like that.
Yeah.
When it should be the complete opposite way. I mean, and that's, even if it's not a family, and if it's just a marriage. I mean, hell, going back to my relationship before, I was, afraid to do certain things, say certain things, because it was like, shit, if I say this, then, maybe he's going to take it wrong, or it's going to piss him off, or he's going to be in a mood, just little things like that.
Yeah.
And now it's just, easy.
Yeah.
Like, not saying that the relationship before we didn't respect each other, but there was more, the percentage of fear was more up there.
Yeah.
And with my relationship now, the percentage of respect is,
up there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Got you.
I think this question applies to different households, and it also applies to different ethnicities.
Yeah. I can tell you right now, my household, it was more of my dad's coming home. I'm going to the room. I'm acting like I'm cleaning up. Like I'm acting like, I'm doing something because I know if he comes in and he doesn't like what he sees, or if he sees me not doing something that he wants me to do, he'll say something, and I'll get in trouble. So yeah, I 100%, growing up, it was, it was based off of fear. Until he left, and I think my mom felt like she had to take over that fear aspect, and she didn't, because I would prefer to rather respect someone than to fear someone. Because when I was younger, I was bad as hell.
You.
Yeah, I know. I know, because
No way.
there's just like a little halo angel on top. You know what I mean? Like,
Hey,
there's-
I don't
why
see
that's why the
Yeah.
lights behind them.
yeah, for sure.
And cute.
But I used to be like, I used to be bad, but it was more of just like, I know, there was a level of respect, but the fear was there. But I knew, okay, she'll just beat me. You know what I mean? I'll just get a whooping and then it'll be over with in like a couple of seconds, and I'll go about my business, right? So the fear kind of gave me more power to be like, I can, again, as a man, I can just do it and then see if I can get away with it. And if I don't get away with it, I'll just get a whooping and then go about my business, right? Versus like, when, respecting and making sure that I'm not doing things to...
But you think that you didn't, fear your mom? Because up until that point, your dad was the one that put the fear in you?
100%.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So,
It shifted from him to her.
Was it more like, okay, well, like before, like, oh my God, dad's home. And then once dad's gone, it's like, Mom, you weren't even doing that whenever dad was here.
Oh, no, my mom didn't play. Yeah. Chocolates. I mean, she didn't play. So it was more, because she had 5 kids. And so, again, back in the day, it was hard to try to gain respect from 5 kids. You just beat them if they did something like bad, because like, I want you to like not go down this path. I mean, I still went down that path because she had 5 kids, and so she couldn't keep, she couldn't keep track of all of us type deal. It's tough with 2 parents.
My parents raising and stuff like that was like when people always say things, like about this and that about their parents, and like you said, ethnicity, which I've never thought of until that one time at the gym that we had that conversation. And because, we're Hispanic, we're not Mexican, so it wasn't like a Mexican household, dinner's done by 5:00 and everybody sits down to eat, and your dad gets his food first and the mom serves it and mom does this and that. Never. My mom cared for my dad, but I also remember, not all the time, but, my dad being outside cooking for us, my dad washing the dishes a few times, when he was a lot freer, as far as like working and whatnot.
That should be normal though, right?
Right?
That's a normalized thing.
Yeah.
It's not something you should be like, oh my gosh, that's so crazy that it's happening. Yeah.
Should be
Your dad
normal.
sat at the dinner table with you and tells you what?
But the crazy thing is, like, it's not.
It's,
like,
yeah.
It blows my mind.
Yeah.
But, my parents, yes, they would get on to us, but it was never like, oh my gosh, like, we're terrified of my dad or we're terrified of my mom. And my mom was never, like, oh, every once in a while she'd do it just to scare us or just to, put a little pep in our step.
Yeah.
But it was never like, your dad's coming, like, this needs to be done and blah, blah, blah. My dad never did that about my mom. Like, it was, we really had, like, a solid, good bringing up.
Yeah.
So
there wasn't a lot of fear.
No,
there was
never.
more respect. This is a funny story real quick. So my mom was whooping me. I was 16 at the time. I thought I was a grown ass man. Like at some point, like, you got to stop beating me. She's whooping me because I snuck out the house. So I locked my door. So we all ordered food, and I should have just waited for the food and then went into my room. But this chick was like, "Hey, I'm outside," and I was like, "Well."
damn, she was picking you up.
Yeah, of course. And so I was like, yeah, whatever. So I lock my door, and I go out the window. And, she's, knock on the door because, she's worried about me. And, of course, I'm not there. So then, what? Super mom, she breaks the door down.
Oh, shit.
And I'm not there. And then when I get to the house, she's like, well, where were you at? And I couldn't say anything, so I just didn't say nothing at all. I was like, well, I'm nowhere. You know what I mean?
The whole house doors in the living room.
In my room. And so she was like whooping me. And I was like, man, I'm too old for this shit. And I started to walk down the hallway. And I heard her feet. And I was like, oh, no, I know she's not chasing me. And I turned around and I saw her eyes. Yo, listen, I was Usain Bolt, bro. I ran out the house so quick.
Gosh.
I was down the street, you know what I mean? Like, just straight scared. She's like, you got to come back at some point. I'm like, man. So I went back in there and got my whooping and then went about my day.
Oh, my gosh.
But it was just, again, that was, how she was brought up. And that was how, her mom was brought up. And so it was just like, that's just what was like normal.
Yeah.
That Bible verse of spare the rod or spare the child or something like that, where essentially it says beat your kid. That's what they always use. Like, I ain't going to spoil the rod, spare the child, spare the rod, spoil the child. Something like that. Yeah. But yeah, no, they 100% believed in, like, beating all the bad out of you.
See, and my dad, not so much. Like, I knew he would always get in trouble, but my dad was pretty mischievous. Like, he 100% was. He grew up in Pecos, so small town.
I don't know what that means. You're from Pecos.
Cousin.
And then there's somebody else from Pecos, so I can see it as mischievous. What we talking?
Oh, okay, yeah. No affiliation.
No, so yeah, like, my dad, he, needed those whoopings.
Yeah.
My mom, she came from a big family, and it wasn't, my mom can sit there and say, it was more so she was the oldest girl of 6 of them. So it was, getting out from school and coming home and going straight to cooking, dinner for the rest of the family, making sure my grandpa, washing the kids' clothes or, her brothers and sisters' clothes. Anyway, all that comes with what we were talking about earlier, like those type of households and stuff. So
But your mom is also white, right?
No, she's Hispanic.
Your mom's Hispanic? Why was I thinking your mom was white? Someone said your mom was white.
She looks white. 100%.
Yo, your mom looks, you know what? She has like gray hair, right?
Yeah,
your mom
natural.
looks straight up white.
Yeah.
Your mama's not white?
No, she can hold a whole ass conversation in Spanish with you.
Oh, see, look at me. I was over there trying to stereotype.
That's on the next podcast.
I was over trying to stereotype. Well, your mama didn't get beat because she was white, you know what I mean?
No, but like they would get in trouble, like her, because the way my grandpa was, And so speaking of fear, my I obviously I didn't live with them or whatever, but whenever I hear stories about when my aunts talk about it, my mom, about them growing up, like, it just sounds like fear. Like, I wouldn't even want to go home as a kid.
Yeah.
And that's how, they put it.
Yeah.
And so, but what my mom did was she broke the cycle,
Gotcha.
And growing up, obviously it never clicked and stuff, but not until like, these last few years. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like, she really did. Like, she broke the cycle because she is not like that at all. Angie will tell you the same thing about her growing up, with her parents and stuff like that. And she always says, like, I'm going to break the cycle with my kids. Like, I am not going to this, and this, and whatever. And I'm just like, hell yeah.
That's pretty cool. It's pretty cool whenever you are, you see that person or you are that person. I feel like I'm that person with my family. I feel like there's a lot of things that I'm doing now that, like, my mom's the oldest of 5 sisters. They, my grandparents came here from Mexico, so my mom is originally from Mexico. So this is, of course, my mom and my aunt's talking. Like, my grandpa's priority for his daughters were always to get an education. It was always to have an education and above anything. They came here for that purpose. So, but with that, there was a lot to it. Like, you're expected to grow up and to get married and, you're supposed to be faithful and you're supposed to, like, kind of take that role and take that. And, it's kind of cool whenever you, like, you know what? I don't need to tolerate this. I don't need to put up with this. Yeah. And you do your own thing.
Yeah. Breaking the cycle. That's another topic on the podcast for sure.
And also, like, going back on the parents thing, it's like, I always say this, even till now, because it took me so long. There's so many stories from childhood that I'm like, now I laugh about it.
Yeah, for sure.
At the time, it was pretty traumatizing, but now, you laugh about it. And I'm like, my parents did the best that they could with the knowledge that they had.
Facts. Yeah. That's it. Yeah.
They did the best that they could. And I'm trying to do the best I could with the knowledge I have, kids, in case y'all hear this later on.
Yeah.
In case y'all hear this, I'm trying.
You still
Mama
wish
got
for it.
you, though.
Yeah. Awesome. I appreciate y'all for jumping on and just having a conversation. I think this is these are conversations that's going to help, bring awareness to people's lives. And essentially what I want to do is I want to help change the world one way or another. I'm going to. I just don't know how.
You already are.
Thank you. And if it's through this or if it's through something, but, having people on and having these conversations, I think are just, I've learned a lot from both of y'all. So I appreciate y'all for jumping on. And if you haven't, go like, subscribe, download, share, let people know, what's going on with this podcast and, the things that we're trying to accomplish and do. Also, for my sponsor, CrossFit 432, if you're trying to get your body right for the summer. And honestly, I'm being 100% for real. Like that gym has been a godsend for me. That gym has, just because of the people that are at that gym. They're amazing people. They have great energy. I go to the 5 a.m. class, and the 5 a.m. class by far is the best class at CrossFit 432.
That's when you decide to wake up.
Yeah.
Don't let him fool y'all.
We had this conversation today. No, I wake up all the time. I just don't go.
Yeah. 5 a.m. class is pretty cool. We're the ones to try it first.
Yeah.
The guinea pigs.
We are the guinea pigs. But it's been something that has really helped me, on my journey, mentally, physically, emotionally, just in every aspect of my life. So, if you are looking for a gym, you can try out CrossFit 432 because it's really something that's gonna, I feel, help change your life. And ask for Kelci when you get there.
Yeah.
She's a nice one.
Brandon's pretty nice too, though.
Brandon is cool.
No,
Chuck.
it's Chad.
It's Chuck.
It's Chad.
It's Chuck. I mean, y'all say Chad, I say Chuck. Y'all say Chad, I say Chuck. Chad, Chuck, Chad, Chuck. But yeah, I appreciate y'all for listening. And until next week, y'all have a good one.
Thank you for listening. Be sure to subscribe to the podcast so you never miss an episode. And for daily, motivational, and up-to-date content, follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Excellence Above Talent. And remember, keep moving forward, never give up, and you are never alone in this battle. We'll see you next time.